On those who have the ability to make their voices heard, to bring about change in a world that needs it. And as a staple in the Butte community, the athletic staff and leaders at Montana Tech say the foundation to inspire that much needed change is there. But as MTN's Dom Tibbetts explains, their priorities right now are simply to listen so that others can have their voices heard.
When we're going through this as a country and a society, it really changed your perspective on what's important and what your issues are on a day-to-day basis and where your focuses should be.
The sudden and tragic death of George Floyd has hit close to home at Montana Tech, which now presents an opportunity for administrators and coaches to hear the concerns and suffering their African-American student athletes are going through.
Leadership sometimes is just shutting your mouth and listening, and not necessarily having things to say all the time, but listening to your players, to your peers, to your staff. And I think this is a great starting point, just to listen and to admit that we need to do better.
Montana Tech has never been a stranger to inclusion, leading from the examples of past Orediggers like Calvin Sampson, who spread a message of inclusion and understanding to a community that often doesn't have to live with the reality of what life is like for African Americans elsewhere.
And it's something that we're trying to live up to, that not only the standard that he set when he coached here, but also the standard in which the way in which he lives his life. One of inclusion, compassion. I mean, we had him here on campus last fall, and he was meeting with our team, and just the standards that he has in his program are the standards that we want to have in our program as well. So we admire him, we respect him, we love everything that he has to say, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that we live the legacy that he's established here.
Above all, the Montana Tech community understands right now its priorities lie within all of their student athletes dealing with an indescribable amount of emotions to make sure they know full well that they are more than just a student athlete to them.
And then going forward, I think that just kind of goes to everything that we're trying to do here at Tech, where trying to build relationships with kids that know that we care about them as people, not as just football players or basketball players or whatever it may be.
We share relationships. The relationships are the most important piece of our program. And so, when one of our members suffers, everybody suffers.
That's our family, and we need to pull together as a family and be there for all members of our family, especially those that are really feeling this pain.
In Butte, Dom Tibbetts, MTN Sports.